Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Asking Muso podcast, brought to you by Jim's Cleaning, Bottom South. Doing another awesome on-location episode tonight, and without any further ado, I'll just pass it straight over to you. Give the audience a bit of an introduction to yourself. Tell us where you're from and what you do.
Hi, I'm Cosgrove. Thanks for having me on. I am a singer-songwriter. I'd probably say folky, sort of a singer-songwriter, originally from out near Dalby. So grew up on a farm out there, and I'm pretty new to the Sunshine Coast. I've been here for the year now, just under a year actually. So have been doing some cover gigs around. But yeah, originally started off writing country music when I was a kid. And I've recorded 2 EPs, so that's kind of the original music side of things. And then, yeah, for the moment, I'm just playing in pubs and restaurants while we don't have the festival life.
I've seen boats
and
as
boats,
well, and
yeah,
on boats.
just playing wherever I can. So
yeah, awesome. So
sort of what I'm up to.
Yeah, so being a country girl, was music something that was a family thing, or was it something that was everywhere, so you just got amongst it? Is that why the country music style, or was it just something you found interesting?
I mean, I do have a musical family, but not really country music. Like my dad was in a bit of a dance band. They used to go around and play all of the country dances, like in the halls in little towns out there. But that's sort of before I came along, and they still sort of jammed as a family when I was little, but it was more jazz and even like classical kind of stuff. And I got a guitar when I was about 8. So I think for me, I just didn't want to sit and learn stuff. So I just wrote my own songs, and I was writing about, obviously my life, and on a farm that turns out pretty country. So
yep.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to be a country singer. I was just singing about, my life on the farm. I think they were really terrible songs, but that's how I got started.
You sing what you see.
Yeah, I just made it up. I think I'm still doing that. I'm just making it up as I go.
So rather than sort of changing your strategy in songwriting, just move to somewhere different, so you're looking at different things out the window. So you can write about different stuff.
Definitely. Well, you got to start somewhere, I guess. I think my style's definitely changed a lot. Like I wouldn't call myself a country singer-songwriter now, but yeah, that's where it sort of got started. So
is that like something that you would revisit if you were doing an original, or is that gone? She's disappeared.
I don't know.
We don't enter back into that.
It's so hard because I'm the sort of person that like my music taste will switch from like country to folk to hardcore, like pop even. So when I'm writing a song, I don't really know how it's going to turn out. Yeah, but I find that at the moment it's sort of more folky. My first EP was definitely very country, and I got that produced with a country sort of producer, Matt Fell, down in Sydney. Works with a lot of country singer-songwriters and artists. So that was kind of the direction for that one. And then I've just felt that that's changed a little bit since then.
Yeah, so what are you working on now? What's sort of, like you said, you're doing your cover stuff because that's where you can get a buck and get to strum the guitar. But what are you working on for originals wise or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I don't have any new releases at the moment, which is disappointing because I'm sure like most songwriters, you've always got songs written and ready to go. But
it's all smoke and mirrors. All smoke and mirrors.
I haven't really been in the position to record this year, but I'm dying to get back in the studio. Like I've got songs that I really am excited to release, and I'm excited to, I've got the music video pictured in my head, and I'm just excited to kind of get new music out there. So hopefully that's not too far on the horizon. But yeah, the timeline obviously isn't concrete just yet.
No.
But there's definitely more songs to come, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's awesome. So with sort of like that sort of original stuff, does that get thrown into the cover sets? Do we throw in a couple of originals occasionally?
I definitely do. And I sometimes just don't even tell people that it's an original. I just throw it in and I just see how it feels. And if people are like, oh yeah, that was a good one, I'm like, yeah, sweet. I wrote that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I usually mix it up a little bit, play covers because everyone wants to hear the songs that they love, obviously, and then throw a few of mine in as well. Your
most recent post on or one of your posts on Cosy Creative, which we'll get to later, you sort of notated a couple of pretty awesome things in your past when it came to the AMRAP charts and playing in Canada and festival stuff, for things like that. What sort of like, what would you consider like your biggest achievement to date musically?
Yeah, I've got a few highlights that I chucked out there. I think the most recent one probably was, which is funny because it was at Tamworth Country Music Festival, but made it into the Toyota Star Maker competition, which is quite a big deal, I guess, in the country music world, or even just in Australian music, if you've sort of heard of it. So that was probably the most recent achievement, I guess you would say. And there was 10 people from Australia and New Zealand that got selected into that. We played at the festival at the main stage in Tamworth, which usually has a couple thousand people there, which is a great crowd to play to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess since leaving school, I haven't really stayed anywhere for too long. I've done a lot of traveling, so I've just sort of picked up different things along the way, and I was in Canada for a couple years on separate occasions.
Oh, so for a while, so it wasn't like you went for something and then got an opportunity. You were actually properly living there.
Yeah, I went there like as soon as I finished school, and I was meant to just go on like a bit of a gap year holiday, and I ended up staying there for almost a year because I loved it. And then, yeah, I came back to Australia, and I've sort of been around the Northern Territory on properties and Queensland a little bit. And I missed it, so I went back to Canada again. So yeah, I've just been all over the place sort of thing. And I've always been writing songs and sort of playing wherever I go. So I guess that's just how I have different things everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the language that everyone speaks. So it's one thing to bridge a gap, because it doesn't matter where you're playing, there'll be an audience, especially when even if you're doing covers, things like that, there's an audience.
Yeah.
Like you can tailor things and stuff, but if you get an opportunity, just sort of see what works, I guess.
Yeah, and it's sort of become, I guess you can see it in my last EP too, something that I write about a lot too, is travelling and sort of the experiences that you get through that. So
yeah, and I suppose obviously that's more juxtaposed now with inability to do so. I suppose it's nice to know that you got opportunities when they were there. Would you say that Canada is on the cards in the brain, even if it's not possible right now?
I mean, I would love to go back ASAP, but obviously we can't really. I mean, you just meet people and you create these little homes like everywhere you go, and I think Canada, I always want to go back. Like even the other day my friend got married and I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna be able to go, and obviously we couldn't, but yeah, it's just always great to have those places that you can go back, and you've got people that
you got a little hub,
you've got people that you love, and I would definitely be traveling again as soon as I can. But I am glad that I've got to have those experiences as well. I kind of feel sorry for people that I guess just finished school and maybe wanting to travel, because I was gone as soon as I could.
Yeah.
So,
I went to the States in 2019 and didn't think it was going to be a big deal either. And I had a group of friends that were not musically related, just a group of friends that I known through basically connecting over skateboarding in high school, and having that hub of people that, we'll celebrate my 20th birthday, and I met a whole new bunch of people there, and I didn't think it was such a big deal then, but now I think of how grateful I am for that opportunity and things like that. What's Cosy Creative?
Yeah, it's just a new business that I've sort of kickstarted. It's definitely still a bit of a side hustle at the moment, but I guess like any artist, you've always got a few different creative outlets. Like I don't think that any real creative just sticks to the one path. I guess some people do, I don't know. Whereas for me, I'm just always thinking of different
irons in the fire.
Yeah. So Cosy Creative, I'm just putting it out there to do a bit more work with other artists, and I'm hoping to connect with more musos and even small businesses and creative artists that just wanting to do things like photo shoots, new websites, social media, and that kind of thing, where I feel that I've learnt that through my own career, just doing it for myself. I just want to do that with other people too, and connect with other artists.
For sure. Like, so when you when you think about like international and other interstate and all that, and talking about getting like a hub of people in certain spots, like was something that was like instilled to you as growing up about things like that, or were you always very home based, like as a child or whatever, but then you decided to branch out and...
Yeah, I don't really know. I think just the more you travel around, the more that you connect with like-minded people. So for me, I love working with other creative people and other artists, and I think that's where I kind of got the idea. I always feel drawn to, even just like my mates are usually creative and they're artists, and just working on things with other people, I think it inspires you a lot more too than just sticking, to yourself and doing your own thing. So
yeah, the power of collaboration and stuff is
definitely
pretty awesome. Like Monty and I, my best mate, we've actually created more music being apart in two states than we ever did together. Like, just because like the power of collaboration and wanting to do something, thinking how cool is it to do something that I know how to do, but how cool is it to get someone else to do their bit too, and see them thriving, doing their craft. And like, it's obvious what I bring to the table. So he doesn't bring this to the table. He's got the stringed instruments covered. So like that dynamic of having someone like that, do you have any like dream collaboration or someone or some people or something that you'd really love to work with in the future?
Not really, to be honest. I've just, I think it's cool to just work with a whole lot of different people. Like, I've just done a photo shoot with a girl called Nikki, and we'd never met. We kind of just connected through social media, and she designs her own skateboards. So she does all the art on them, and we did a photo shoot together and used like my music merch, her skateboards. I did the photos, and then obviously, we're all tagged on social media, and it just brings people's audiences together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even skate, but I just connected with her and we had like an awesome time. And yeah, I just think those kind of experiences are really cool because you find people that you have things in common with and you wouldn't have even really known. And obviously, it grows your audience to connect with other people, even on social media, to have one photo when there's 5 different artists all collaborating. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's sort of the idea behind the work that I want to do, but I don't really know if there's an ideal client as such, to sort of see what happens.
Yeah, and I suppose it's often people you didn't know existed until it happens.
Yeah.
They end up being some of your best.
Really cool.
Yeah, some of your best collaborators. I suppose like to see all the different people like helping you out, and to know that you got a bunch of different people in your corner and doing things for you, and having enough in common to make it worthwhile to start a line of dialogue, but also having enough not in common. Like you said, you don't really skate, but like you're bringing like the real ends of the Venn diagram together to bring two audience together, and then people find out that, I didn't actually realize I was into that sort of music, so I like that, and that you sort of find that happy balance between.
Yeah, definitely. Music
wise, with the exception of the obvious, what do you think of the music scene like here compared to other places you've been?
Well, to be honest, I feel like I'm still settling a little bit. Like, I've been here almost a year, but
I've only been here 2, and I still feel like it's a holiday sometimes. So.
I guess too, like, not to try and talk about COVID a lot, but it has sort of put a dampener on the bigger music events. So most of the stuff I've been doing is just, cover gigs here and there. But there's way more than, say, in the country at the moment. Like, even in Dalby, where I'm from, the couple of pubs have music occasionally. Whereas here, there's always music at
always something.
Cafes, bars. So, yeah, it's a great place to be for that.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that coming from, like, the Point Peninsula in Victoria is essentially it's just a smaller version of this. Like, it's by the seaside and it's one big strip down the coast, but it's not like this the way it is. It's like you can count the amount of venues on one hand. You have to go to the city if you want to do something.
Played them all probably.
Yeah, and it's like you're playing to the same people, same crowds, and then it becomes the high school group, and it's like, well, this one, she works at the school, so her son's band always gets to, and you suddenly find out all the opportunities disappear, so you have to go to the city to play. And like, I'd played more on the sunny coast before I'd even played in Brisbane once, like, because there were just opportunities to play here, and I found that super awesome to have, like, the soul bars and things like that even exist in the first place. And I think having regional, this is essentially the same as what we had in probably more built up than what I'm used to from where I grew up. And it's regional here. So it's like, holy dolly. Imagine what if it was the city. Like, Maroochydore does not seem regional to me.
No, I think it feels pretty city. I've never really lived anywhere, I don't think, as city-like as this, if that's even worth, like, I don't know how to explain that. But I've always lived in very country places. So this is probably the most happening place that I've ever lived. So it's good. It's good for music, obviously.
How important is local music to you? Like when people ask me, oh, what sort of stuff do you listen to? I like to give them a band or something like that. And I like it when they don't know it. I'd rather not come up with someone that everyone knows and say, I like this genre and I like that band. And they go, oh yeah, I've heard that band. I know what that sort of thing is. I'd rather give you a local band and say, I actually like this. It's probably similar to something that someone else has already done, but I like it because it's them. And like, I know these guys, they live in Butterham. They're just around the corner and I like what they do. And how important is local music and sort of sharing local music to you?
Yeah, I'm the same, I'd say. I'd say most of my music of all genres is Australian artists. There's obviously some international, there's a fair few New Zealand bands, I guess. But love Aussie music.
Same, yeah.
And supporting that, I think Australians do generally support Australian music, but Triple J sort of proves that. There's some hardcore Triple J fans out there that just love Aussie music. But for me, it's really cool to think that some of my favourite bands are from the area. Yeah. I mean, Alavan Blue, I'm a huge fan, and I supported them in a show in Toowoomba, so that's like an hour from where I grew up, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I suppose. I don't even know why, but or when it happened, but I got really heavily into that Aussie music scene from just everything from like Paul Kelly and famous people to just local artists that just are doing something really cool, and I want to be a part of that. And I know that they're local, there's an opportunity to play with them, and I suppose that's what the idea of this was. I could try and hit other people up or message people that have a really big following and maybe they'll get back to me or something like that. And it did happen. It's happened in the past, but how cool is it to get someone that I don't know enough about or I want to know more about that's local and find out what they're doing? Because that's something that's more tangible. I can go and see you play because I can't go and see someone play even if they are in New South Wales. I can't see them play, but I can come see you play.
Definitely.
So that's I think super important. Yeah, exactly. Down the street is, and for lack of a better term, as far as you can go sometimes at the moment. So
at the moment,
so why not learn about who's around the corner? And that's a community I want to bring together. If nothing else, just for my own benefit, just so I can know who's playing, and when a name gets put up and they say, "Oh, Solbar, El Cosgrove's playing," they're all right, all right, so I'll go. I know who that is, that sort of thing.
I'm all about that.
Yeah,
as well.
Is there anything you've got upcoming that you want to talk about, live shows or anything like that?
I've just got cover gigs every weekend. Like, I don't even know where they are, but they're all on my social media. I put up a monthly gig guide. So most of them are in the area. I do go to Bribie a little bit. I go back to Dalby sometimes. I don't think I really have anything out there for a little while. But mostly on the Sunshine Coast, so...
If there's a boat
drop in.
Okay, I brought up the boat for the second time. Tell me about the boat.
The boat is very cool.
I see you playing guitar on a yacht or something, and I need to know what's happening.
Yeah, no, there. It's like 100-year-old sailboat, which I don't have anything booked in for at the moment.
That's disappointing. That's disappointing. We'll wrap it up here, guys. It's been great to chat to you. No. So how did you even score all that?
I don't even know. I'm trying to think now. I think it was just through Instagram. It's funny what comes through social media, to be honest. Because, I think they just reached out to me through that. And I've played on it a few times now. It's awesome. It's like just cruising in the sunset. It goes from Mooloolaba. So when I am on it again, even when I'm not, there's other musos on it. I think they do it every weekend. It's called Saltwater Eco Tours. It's run by an awesome couple. And they just go out in the afternoon. You can buy a ticket. Someone plays up the front, have drinks, go out, look at the sunset, cruise around for a couple of hours, come back. So
That sounds like a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
Yeah, I think every part of that sounds brilliant.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm usually playing on it and I'm like, this is really a lot better than sitting in a pub like usual and playing in the corner.
yeah, seeing the beach, like it's like the beach is about this big from that window that I can see across the distance, rather than I am on the water.
The Kino TV. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So,
seeing it between the Kino TV, yes.
yeah, or the like footy behind me or something.
Yeah. Oh, we've all done enough pub gigs where you just see everyone going, like, you're playing and everyone's just like looking just a little bit above you to the left, and you're like, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
that's
I've had
happening
like
next to me.
applauses in the middle of songs because someone has scored a try and I'm just like, let's hit a good note, but I didn't. It was just like the footy or something.
No, it's the last chorus. Oh, sorry, not me.
Yeah,
all right, I'll just
even.
I'll just keep doing my thing then.
Yeah, I think we've all had a few like that.
We've all had a few like that. And the thing is, and depends on who's brave enough. There's always one person that's brave enough. I'll ask them to turn it off, and they come back, tail between their legs.
Yeah.
No, they said they don't want to turn it off. They have to keep it on.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. I think I've enjoyed playing with the TRS boys, playing at like more like regional venues. I know it's like Palmwoods Hotel and stuff like that. These sort of opportunities weren't available to me in Victoria. Those sort of places, it was like you played at one of the places on the peninsula or you played at the city. Like sort of thing. And then depending on the scene you're in, you played at certain places in the city. But having a place like the Palmers Hotel and those sorts of things pop up, and that's been awesome. Like it is just a bit of a small venue or whatever, and sometimes you got a couple of punters come in on a Thursday night to just sing some piss and talk about how their day was hard, and other times you get a really good sort of bunch of people come in, and that's been awesome. That's been such an awesome experience, especially for us to just keep consistently practicing in front of a live audience. You know, you can't just throw a band on a boat. Well, unless they're interested. Sometimes. I know a guy.
Yeah, it makes it more enjoyable to play to people that are actually keen and interested. I think more people are interested in, you know, even just hearing your originals here. I've had people come up and ask for originals. It just makes the gig feel so much better. Like,
yeah, you don't feel like you're the hired entertainment.
I love hearing other people's originals too, you know, so.
Yeah, you're hearing a piece of them. Often people don't want to tell stories. Like, obviously I've put you on the spot and I'm making you tell stories. But a lot of people don't want to talk about the stories. That's their communication. That's the way they do it.
Yeah, I'm much better playing a song than I am. Even speaking between my songs, like I think I'm just a lot better when I'm actually playing.
Yeah, just cut it down.
Yeah.
I'll add an extra 3 songs in so I don't have to talk.
Yeah, legit. Like, that's something I had to really work on. I mean, I'm not great, but yeah, I think as a songwriter, playing your own songs, it's a lot easier than talking in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love hearing other people's originals, and just even, I think it inspires you a bit more too to be around that, like around those kind of gigs.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's good that they're around on the coast.
Yeah,
Local,
especially. Yeah, local.
Check some more out, I think.
So where can the people find you on all the things that they need to find you on, all the socials and all the business?
Yeah, social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. It's just under L Cosgrove. So hopefully it's easy to find.
That
should be there.
There's only one option.
I think there's only one, hopefully.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And your site has your monthly gig guide. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Super organised.
Yeah.
The website is super organised. I love organisation. It's very organised.
Yeah, thank you. Well, if you want a website, hit me up.
So let's tag the business page.
Yeah, it's Cosgrove Creative. So I think it's Cosy Creative.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not. It's Cosy Creative.
Yeah.
Like, you got your username wrong.
My Insta name is a little different, but yeah, if you want to check that out too, that's up there. It's pretty new. But
no, that's good. I think
on
get onto it soon whilst there's things happening and collaboration. And look, if you get into the studio and you need some percussive backing, I know a guy. I'll see what he's like. I'll see if he's free.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's good to have a chat.
Make sure if you ever see Els playing anywhere, you get on board and you find her, and whether it's covers or originals, she won't tell you and she won't talk in between songs, but you'll know because she's got a great voice, and it's been awesome to have a chat with you tonight. So once again, these episodes coming out 9 a.m. every Tuesday on my YouTube only, and until next week, I'll see you later.